YouTube, what's up? How y'all doing today? I hope you're having a nice day. Just living that retired life. So today, what I want to do is I want to kind of switch it up, get away from cars for a little bit, and watch one of the videos from one of my favorite content creators, FD Signifier. This is off of his Signifier B-sides. Link in the description. Check it out if you're into stuff like that. He makes a lot of, he's like your stereotypical black uncle. No, I would say stereotypical. He's actually really well educated and he's got some great opinions and stuff. So, well, this video is going to be about the FN Mika situation that's going on. I mean, from what I understand, there's a digital like metaverse or something rapper that's made by either a South African or he's white, whatever it is, he's white. But I guess the dude like drops the N-bomb all the time. I don't know. Well, let's check out the video and see what old FD's got to say about it. Oh, by the way, like, share, and subscribe.
So, you know, and this wasn't a prominent criticism, but one criticism I recall from the Drake video was that I was advocating for gatekeeping. That my criticism of Drake came down to that we needed better gatekeepers in hip hop, which, if I'm keeping it real, was a fair interpretation of my argument about Drake. Now you can feel about that how you want to feel about it. I know we generally speaking are against gatekeeping, but gatekeeping when it comes to the work and art and culture of
gatekeeping, not gatekeeping like G-A-Y, but gatekeeping. I've been on a couple of forums or online pages or whatever, and I get the sense that there is a general dislike of gatekeeping. I kind of like gatekeeping, and maybe that's the military in me. I mean, everything in life is gatekeeping. High school diploma is gatekeeping. Obviously, a college diploma is gatekeeping. When you go to basic training in the military, the drill sergeants are gatekeepers. Like, they're supposed to weed out the people that don't fit or can't fit. Like, none of this is bad to me. I'm a big nerd, and so I run around, or online I should say, in nerd circles, and there's a lot of there shouldn't be gatekeeping. We should be inclusive. That's where the beef is I think it's the diversity and inclusivity is at stake when you do gatekeeping, and I don't think anyone should be gatekept because of their skin color or their gender. That I completely understand that. Like, that's wrong, but you know, if you go to a culinary institute, and in that culinary institute they tell you to go make a cheesecake, and then you make Jell-O, you should fail. Like, there should be no, like, maybe we rename this a different type of cheesecake. No, that's Jell-O. I'm on this rant about gatekeeping. It really strikes me like a Star Wars guy. Like, I love Star Wars, and like, you shouldn't change everything that has to do with Star Wars. You know, I'm not talking about the characters, because it's a galaxy. You know, the Star Wars universe is like an entire galaxy full of aliens and all different types of characters. I don't care about that. But when you start just changing the story, oh man, it's gonna be one of these videos. I just realized I'm probably gonna edit this right out. But if I don't, I'm for some gatekeeping. I understand the need for gatekeepers in society.
marginalized and traditionally oppressed and exploited people is not the same as gatekeeping anime or gaming, because what we're talking about is...
See, that's why I like this dude. Me and him, I think on the same type of wavelength as this guy. So,
trying to protect people that are historically unprotected in society, right? So here is a perfect example of this. Now, this is a silly, goofy one, but here is a perfect example of this. So this is FN NECA.
That's a funny name, not gonna lie.
Who is a virtual rapper?
Thank you. That's funny. Like, it's funny. A virtual rapper. Like, is that gonna, like, when Skynet starts to take over the world, is we have a bunch of like just virtual celebrities. I think they have them in Japan already. I think they do. I think there's a Japanese animated pop star. Yeah.
Just saying that.
Yeah, bro.
Just saying that.
It's funny.
Now I get it. I think because I'm assuming they got this idea from I don't remember the character's name, but there's virtual pop stars in Japan, right?
I should just let the video play. Like I need to turn my mic down. I can see me red barring the shit out of this.
Right? So maybe they thought that they could take the same concept and bring it to the US for hip hop.
So this is in the US?
Which shows a complete like misunderstanding of hip hop.
A complete
And like what works with hip hop. Is it Hatsune Miku? Hatsune Miku?
That's her. That's her. Yo, they sampled her in one of Killer Mike's and Big Boy's song. I think it was a Big Boy song, but it was a pretty high sample.
I may be saying that wrong, but yeah. So this has worked in some capacities, and we all saw Virtual Tupac a couple years back. That was cool.
I didn't see it. Y'all gonna hate me? Flame me in the comments. Not a Tupac fan. No, I'm just not. I was when I hit my puberty in the 90s. Like I'm a 90s kid. Not like the kids that's like, like I was born in 79. I'm not a 79 kid. You know what I mean? I was young in the 80s. I'm still not an 80s kid. I'm a 90s kid. That was basically when I was a teenager. When I started forming my own personality, when I started really getting into music. Because the music you listen to is as a kid is not the music that you listen to for the rest of your life. It just isn't. I don't sing Puff the Magic Dragon anymore. I'm just saying, I'm a 90s kid. And so when I was growing up through the 90s, like I fell in love with East Coast rap. East Coast rap, like really Wu-Tang, because it kind of segued from growing up watching Kung Fu movies, Kung Fu theater. And then this group called Wu-Tang comes out, and I hear their first album, and I fell in love with East Coast hip hop. Started listening to some Nas, saw Jay-Z in concert. Like, I was more of a Biggie person or a Biggie fan than Tupac in the way they rapped, more than West Coast rap. I mean, my buddies, my homies, they was all in the West Coast. When Doggy Style dropped, Dog Pound records, stuff like that. Just never got into Tupac like that. I remember I was on a way to a football game when I found out when he died. I think I was suspended for that game, so I didn't even get to dress out. I was riding with some chicks to this game, and I was suspended for my grades, by the way. School was so boring. So riding to this game, and over the radio, like, rapper actor Tupac Shakur dies, and like they start crying, and I thought we was gonna die because they couldn't control the vehicle because it was crying so hard. Like, get to the game and people was crying. It was crazy. I've seen that happen twice. When Kurt Cobain died, like every white person in the school was crying. I'm not laughing at their pain, but it was almost every white person in school, minus the dudes that were in the FFA with their purple jackets. But everybody else, all the other dudes, chicks, they were crying. When Tupac died, like all the chicks, all the girls, well, I should say black girls, they was crying. I think it hit me when Kobe passed, but I was more sad for his daughter. Like I never wanted to see that. It sucked that Kobe passed, but it made it infinitely more sad that he died in a helicopter crash with his daughter. That shit sucked.
This ain't cool though. This reeks of a bunch of white people in a room making up a black theme. This was so cringe and disrespectful on so many levels. I don't even have I don't have a lot of insight. Thankfully, it was canceled. Like they dropped. Oh, he got signed to.
Oh, he got signed? Oh, man. What was that boardroom meeting like? Yeah, we have a new digital... why do I think that people in boardrooms sound like this? We got this new digital rapper. I think it's going to be all the crave with the cool kids because, they're old. And that's how old people talk.
The Capitol Records. This character was signed a contract to Capitol Records. which they were gonna, I guess, make music, and so he made one song, and then he had one song and then a song with Gunna, and they're both awful. The one that was just him was
Oh no, Gunna, not you too, boy. Like I, the new breed of rappers. I shouldn't say the new breed. I think Method Man and Ghostface have done some just for the paper type shit before. But man, that's all they're about now. Them new cats, they don't care.
was just like a throwaway Takeshi X9 6ix9ine song, and Takeshi 6ix9ine is shit to begin with. He uses the N word, which like really gets into some. It really gets into.
Okay, so we're on the N word topic. My history with the N word. Growing up, the way I grew up in a predominantly black neighborhood, we had Mexicans. I wanted to say Hispanics, but they were Mexican. We had Mexicans in our neighborhood. Like the Mexicans never said the N word. It was really just the black people and even older black people. But when an older black person said the N word, it was like an exclamation point to the sentence. Like my granddad, who was a deacon in a church, you know what I mean? Like I heard him say the N word once, and it was just like an exclamation point. Like I knew, like, oh, grandpa's serious about this. And then, you know, as the next generation came through, it just kind of got used a little bit more and more. And then I remember, so when I joined the Army, obviously the Army is a predominantly white organization. There are a lot more Hispanics nowadays, but like it's still predominantly white. I just made a conscious effort to like not say it. I didn't want other people or white people calling me the N-word, so I wouldn't encourage them by saying it. And there's been a couple of my white friends that were just like, well, you know, my buddies back home, they let me say it. I'm like, nah, dude, we ain't like that. But I'm not gonna say I don't ever say it. Like if I'm in a circle with like-minded people or light-skinned people, maybe that's a little bit hypocritical of me, but I will say it. But I try not to. And this new generation of kids, they just don't care. Like I had this one young soldier. This dude, it was every third word in a sentence was, and I had to kind of pull him aside and just be like, I'm not trying to tell you how to talk, buddy, but dog, you don't sound intelligent. There's a time and place. This ain't the time nor place. And I think he took it to heart because he did clean it up a little bit. He's probably still in the Army, and I'm pretty sure he's doing very well for himself. So I'm not saying that's the reason why, but maybe I'm wrong. I probably am wrong. If you go to a job interview, I've always been taught that you want to advertise yourself as somebody that's employable. So I wouldn't go to a job interview talking the way I do. I wouldn't conduct a briefing talking the way that is. There's a time and a place. You completely let go when you're around your friends and family and your little circle. But if you're talking to a general, you're not going to be like, man, this end. All right, let's get back to this video.
What's the show, the British show? Is it Dark? I can't remember. Striking Vipers. Black Mirror. Thank God damn. Oh, y'all already saying in the chat. I'm sitting here Googling. I can't even see the chat. Yeah, so this is some Black Mirror shit. It gets into some Black Mirror shit about identity and politics around culture. But here's the key thing. Here's the key takeaway. Aside from this being cringe and like inappropriate, right? What this marks, because
so I think he's probably not gonna say this because I might be wrong, but I think it's like how they see you. You know, how they see you. When I was in Korea, Koreans are, for the most part, really respectful. Personal boundaries in Koreans don't mix at all. Like standing in line, like a Korean will be like touching your butt so close. And Americans we're real get out my bubble type people, you know. And like it's nothing to them. Of course, this was some years ago, so maybe the culture has changed. Maybe the Americanisms have kind of bled over a little bit more. But for real, like they're real up on you. But anyways, I was in a Korean grocery store. One of my buddies was buying some Korean snack food, like some Poke Sticks or whatever. and I saw two young little, they had to be like 7, 8 years old, Korean kids, and they were looking at us. And, for the most part, on average, we're taller than the general population of Koreans by about 3 or 4 inches. So, and I'm black. So it's things that, we stick out. And the kids were looking up at us, and one of the kids turned to his friend, and it was like blah 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 blah. Like I'd never heard someone mock English, but that's how they hear. So it's weird and funny sometimes to see how other people see you in their mind when they portray it out. And I think this is what he's gonna get at. I could be completely wrong, but
because they will do this again. I guarantee you that this is not the end of this situation.
No, it's completely wrong.
Because what this comes down to is something I've talked about on numerous occasions when I talk about hip hop and black art. They're trying to figure out a way to completely divorce blackness from black art.
True.
And they're gonna keep on trying, because if you, like I was saying earlier about black women on social media, it's completely understood that the commodity that is black creativity is the number one commodity that black people have in this country and to an extent worldwide. Number one thing that we literally control is our creativity to bring us material gains and capital, which I'll get to in a second. That's
absolutely agree. Absolutely. If you think about how the entertainment industry and sports and our creativity, other than country music, when there's black country artists, but you get rock and roll came stemmed from black art, jazz music, blues, rhythm, R&B, and then you had hip hop. So I mean, just think about popular music and the roots of it. That's from black people. And if you can take the black out of it, just think about it. Just take the black out of all these forms of music. And then what do you have? You have Elvis Presley, Eminem, It doesn't happen the other way around.
That's why that's not so cool. But that's the number one thing. They love it. They love our dances. They love our hair. They love our facial features. They love our makeup. They love all that shit. But they do not fuck with us. They don't fuck with us. So this was their first attempt to see, man, how can I have the art without the hard ER? How can I have the ART without the hard ER? That's what this was about. So they tried to make this Fortnite character into a thing, because you best believe that if it had worked.
Yo, was he really a Fortnite? I don't play Fortnite, so I don't know. Let's get to the point where I hate that game.
If they saw that there was money to be made from it, they're gonna come back with this. It's gonna happen again. They're gonna slow play it. Here's how they're gonna do it. They're not gonna show you the face all as much. They're just gonna give you the music. They're gonna give you the TikTok sound.
True.
And then when you go looking for it, if it's good, then they'll be like, oh, this is cool. And then they'll say, okay, by the way, it was done by.
He's 1,000% right. So the first time I heard of Eminem, and believe it or not, I'm actually an Eminem fan. I'm a fan of his art. I can separate that, but he's still right. The first time I heard Eminem was, I think it was Dead Wrong, but when he was on Biggie's song, and I had no clue who was actually singing it. And I remember when I was in basic, one of the drill sergeants there, actually I think he was just a regular sergeant, AIT instructor, was like, hey, do you like that new Eminem character? And I'm like, Eminem? Peanut Eminem? What you trying to talk about? He was like, no, the rapper Eminem. I was like, that's a stupid name. I never heard the song. And it was right around time that Hi, My Name Is came out. When I heard it, I was like, man, this is stupid. Still not one of my favorite tracks by him. But I think it wasn't until I realized that he was on Dead Wrong, I was like, man, he got skills. And then, of course, I think the Marshall Mathers LP came out. And then that's why I was like, okay, I can get with this. But his first album, I thought was music for trailer trash, to be honest. Does that make me racist? Probably. But anyways, it wasn't for me, and I can see when people say that they can't get down with Eminem because of the stuff he says. Like one of my homie, what up, Shep? He's from Detroit, and he's like, people in Detroit really don't listen to. They claim him, but they don't really listen to his music like that. Which his earlier music, no. That, like I said, that first album, I think I might have used it in a mix, one of his songs in a mix. He's on a song with Dr. Dre from his first album. I kind of liked it. It wasn't really until Marshmallow's LP. But anyway, that Eminem was white, or what he looked like, or what he was about. He was just a really good song at first with that Dead Wrong. And if they were to do that again, they would just release the song, and then you're like, you know, people, especially nowadays, like you don't have to understand shit they're saying. That's a subtle jab at mumble rap because some of it I kind of like. I can't get down behind all of it. Yeah, you could just put out something with a hot beat and then have some auto-tune mumbler on it. And people will be bopping their heads and be banging in the clubs that they go to or in their cars. And then, like you said, just slow play it. And then later on, release that it was some AI dude that's not even a real person. And then there you go.
A character from fucking Saints Row. V Wiggers. Oh, this is it. This is it.
V Wiggers.
I gotta put my conspiracy Hotep hat on.
Oh no, not the Hotep hat.
I'm telling you that this is not the end of this this pathway for these multimedia corporations of trying to figure out how to make black art without using black people to make the art. And you know, it is what it is. I'll leave it there. All right. Paul Mooney said it. I'm sorry, I wanted to put it out there. Paul Mooney said it best, and I feel like I've said this in the video. Everybody want to be a nigga till it's time to be a nigga.
Yeah, he did.
It's just the reality of the situation.
All right, that was me reacting to the latest B-Sides FD Signifier video that came out, talking about the effing Mika AI character. I mean, what are you guys' thoughts about it? Just go ahead and comment. Put something in the comments. I think it's gonna happen. I think, like I said, we're at the precipice. I like that word. So we're at the precipice, right? We're at the. It's gonna be a shift. Even my daughter, she, I ask her, yo, babe, what type of car you want when you grow up? She's like, I want a Tesla. Like, no, not a Lamborghini, not a Mercedes, not a BMW, not a Lexus. She wants a Tesla, and so that's her dream car. She's probably gonna get an EV car when she grows up, and she might not even have a choice about it. But with us, we'll go down kicking and screaming. But with that next generation that's coming through, they're just gonna be like, whatever. That's what I wanted anyways. So pretty soon, my son goes to Fortnite virtual concerts. Watching, I think, Marshmello and Travis Scott. I'm like, what are you doing in here? I'm at a concert. What? Like, and he's at a VR concert. I mean, not with the VR headset. He's got one, but it was on Fortnite. Once VR takes off some more, what's to stop them from having an actual VR concert? Characters like effing Mika pop in. It's happening. So I guess be prepared for it. All right, guys. I hope y'all like this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Trying to grow the channel. Leave in the comments if you want to see me react to anything else. Thank you for stopping by.